Good morning, students. Welcome back to our social science class. Today, we are going to learn a new lesson from economics, that is, lesson number 3, Money and Credit, and this is part 1.
In this session, we are going to deal about the concept money and credit under Economics CBSE Grade 10. Money is the most basic and significant invention of mankind. It occupies a unique position in modern economy. But in its absence, the whole prosperous economic life would collapse like a pack of cards, as we experience in this pandemic situation. Okay, when you see money in front of you, or when your parent gives money to you, what will be your reaction? The reaction of people may differ from one person to the other person. Some people feel happy by seeing the money. They hold the money in hand and immediately they move to shopping and they purchase the product what they want. But some people, whoever is holding the money, they save the amount for the future benefits. So the transaction of money may differ from one person to the other person. So for example, after receiving money in hand to meet the needs of a person goes to a shop, he purchases the product whatever he wants. And in back he pays the money for it. So for example, you can see a pictures. The people purchase the product whatever it is essential for them and they pay for it. So in such cases, money is acting as a transaction for goods. Money not only acts as a transaction for goods but also for service. How does money play a role in service? Yes, obviously money play a role in service. For example, wherever you go for a private organization, for example, if you're not well, if you go to a private doctor, private hospital, a doctor may do a service for you. A doctor may do a service, but in turn you have to pay for it. But the same doctor in the government hospital, they do a service for you, but you are not paying for it. But on behalf of you, the government pays for it. So this is what we say is it as a service. So money, with the help of the money is used for transaction of goods and services. How money is defined? Money may be defined as anything which is generally accepted by the people in the exchange of goods and services or in repayment of debts. So we know the exchange of goods and services, how the money played an important role with the previous example. But what is the repayment of debts? It is nothing but when a person is in lack of money and when he is in need of money, in an emergency case, he or she borrows the money from the lender. At a particular point of time, he has to repay the amount what he has borrowed. So that is what, with the help of the money, he is possible to repay the debts here. So how money is defined here? Money is defined as anything which is generally accepted by the people in exchange of goods and services or in repayment of debts. Here the economist Grouther, he has defined money as anything that is generally accepted as means of exchange and at the same time acts as a measure and a store of value. So what is that measurable value is that, for example, we know that money is used for exchange of goods and services. But whether it has a measurable value for it? Yes, of course, it has a measurable value for it. For example, take rupees 5. With help of rupees 5, what is possible for us to purchase? You go to a shop, you can buy a chocolate for it and you can eat it. But with the same 5 rupees, can you purchase a geometry box for it? It is not so. It is very difficult. So it has a measurable value. The commodities has a value. For that commodity, what is the value of commodity and what is the value of money? With the available value of money, you can get the valuable products. So he defines money can be defined as anything that is generally accepted as a means of exchange and at the same time acts as a measure and a store of value. A person who is holding a money. So here we can ask a question. Why transactions are made with the help of money? A person who is holding money in hand, he or she can easily exchange it for any commodity or service whatever she wants. But if a person is not having money, is it possible for him to purchase any product or have a service for him? It is not so. Money plays a very important role. A person who is holding a money in hand, he or she can exchange it for any of his wants. For example, a shoe manufacturer. He manufactures shoes and he wants to sell his shoes in the market. So immediately he goes to the market and he sells his product. And in return, he gets the money for it. So with the available amount of money he earned by selling his shoes, he buys the product, be it whatever he wants. So with the help of money, it is possible for him to get with the help of the money he earned by selling his product, he is able to purchase the product what he wants. But whether a person who doesn't have money, whether it is possible for him, it is not so. So here money plays a very important role. Money acts as a medium of exchange. But in this particular situation, there arises a question. Has man always used money? Has man always used money? The answer would be no. How? When did money enter into the lives of men? So the money entered into the lives of men only after this civilization. But before that, how the people were able to satisfy their needs? That is through the system of exchange. That is barter system of exchange. Barter system of exchange is that direct exchange of goods against goods without the use of money. Direct exchange of goods against goods without the use of money. So for example, you can see in the picture, one person is holding tomatoes in the hand and another person is holding a basket of grains. So at that earlier ages, this system has been used. The barter system has been used. Whatever a person has, he gives that to the person who is in need of tomato, and from that person, he gets a product what he wants. So direct exchange of goods against goods without the use of money. So this system came to be called as barter system of exchange. So this system flourished only well after the civilization has been thrived. So this system of economy can also be called as CC economy. This system of economy can also be called as what economy? CC economy. CC economy is nothing but commodity for commodity exchange economy. So you can see the picture. A lady is selling a radish. So the radish has been exchanged for the grains. Everybody, it is not possible for us to cultivate the grains at home, but it is possible for the person to cultivate the radish. So whatever she has cultivated, she exchanges her radish for grains from the farmer. So one commodity is radish, another commodity is grain. So here exchange of commodity for commodity takes place. Women exchanges her radish for grains from the farmer. So this is what we used to say it as commodity for commodity exchange economy. In this particular type of economy, there exists double coincidence of wants. What is the double coincidence of wants? When the seller decides to sell his or her products is exactly what the buyer wishes to buy. As you have seen the example, for example, a shoe manufacturer, he wants wheat. A wheat farmer, he wants the shoes. So both of them meet together, a shoe manufacturer and a farmer meets together and they exchange their product. They exchange their product, shoe for wheat and wheat for shoe. So both the people, they agree with each other to sell their product and buy the product. So here there is no use of money. When both the people agree to buy and sell their product, this type of economy is called as commodity for commodity exchange, and it is called as double coincidence of wants. We say it as what? Double coincidence of wants, where there is no use of money. But in an economy where money is in use, we can say that with the help of money, money eliminates the need for double coincidence of wants. In the barter system of exchange, as there is double coincidence of wants, there are certain limitations for the barter system. There is no lack of double coincidence of want. Double coincidence of want exists in barter system, but there is no measurable or standard value for it, no common unit of value. Why is it so? For example, I have shown an example, tomato and a grain. So if you give 6 tomatoes at this present situation, at this present modern economy, is it possible for you to exchange the product of that is tomato by giving 6 tomatoes? Can you get a basket full of grains? It is difficult. So there is no measurable value at all in the earlier ages in the using the barter system of exchange. So that is what no lack of double coincidence of wants, lack of store value, lack of standard deferred payment, lack of a common unit of value. These are the limitations of the barter system. So how does money act as a medium of exchange? As we know that barter system has a double coincidence of wants, where a person desires to sell his product to the person who wishes to buy in turn. But in the economy where the money is in use, we can say that the money eliminates the need for double coincidence of wants. Money eliminates the need for double coincidence of wants. So the same example we can take a shoe manufacturer. Now at present, in the barter system of exchange, what happened? A shoe manufacturer, he has to find out the person who is selling his wheat, at the same time who is in need of shoe. Then only he can exchange his products. So both the people, they have to agree to sell and buy the products. There arises double coincidence of want. But in the modern economy where money is in use, there is no need for double coincidence of want. So here a shoe manufacturer, he can find out a person who is in need of shoes. For example, ABC. A is a person who sells the shoes. B is a person who is in need of shoes. But he is selling some other product. For example, he is selling the product of utensils. C person, he is a cultivator of wheat and he sells the grain. So in such cases, a shoe manufacturer, he is in need of wheat. But the wheat manufacturer, wheat cultivator, he is not in a need of shoes. So in such cases, here no exchange of goods can take place. So a person A, shoe manufacturer, he has to search a person who is in need of shoes. So he sells his product to the to the person who is in need of shoes, that is B person. He gets the money in return. With the exchange money, he goes to the wheat farmer and he pays the money to the wheat farmer and gets this product wheat. So this is what money plays a very important role as a medium of exchange. So here money eliminates, in this particular situation, money plays an important role in eliminating the need for double coincidence of wants. But at the present day economy, the modern forms of money, it may be in the form of currencies and deposits with banks. So in the earlier ages, it is clearly understood that the people were using grains and cattle as money. The people were using to buy any product here, they will give the grains or they will give the cattle and they will get the product. Earlier ages of period, it is clearly understood that grains and cattle they were used as a money. But after this, metallic coins came into existence. Like gold coins, silver coins, and the copper coins, which is completely made of the original metallic metals. But in the present day modern economy, what does money include means the money includes the paper notes and the coins. So these paper notes and the coins, so it is not like gold coin as it is exactly gold coin, silver coin or copper coins, but it is a gold plated or silver plated or copper plated coins. It is not a original metallic coins. So paper notes and coins, they are used as a medium of exchange, and this particular currencies, that is coins and paper notes, they have been authorized by the government of India. Why we can say rupee acts as a medium of exchange? So as I told you in the previous slide, so the medium of exchange as the currency is authorized by the government of India. So the paper notes and the coins, it has been authorized by the government of India. And who can issue this paper notes and the coin it is not you and me can issue, but it is only the RBI. That is, RBI is that Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India, they can issue the currency on behalf of the central government. So it is not that any individual of the particular country cannot issue a currency, either in the form of a paper note or either in the form of coins. If it is so, it is an illegal activity. And he or she will be under punishment. So law has been framed that the rupee has to be considered as a medium of payment. The rupee has to be considered as a medium of payment or mode of payment. So for example, at present, if you are going to a shop and if you are paying the Indian rupee, for example, the unit of Indian currency is a rupee. So when you are going to a shop and when you are purchasing a product, but they are not accepting the currency. So automatically, what happened? It is a wrong method. So a buyer, that is a seller, has to accept. The shopkeeper or a seller has to accept rupee as a medium of payment. So it is under law that no one can refuse in settling transactions in India. No individual can refuse a payment made in rupees. So as it is legally authorized, So because of all these, we can say rupee, which is considered as a unit of Indian currency, acts as a medium of exchange. So RBI, who can issue the currency on behalf of the central government, is that RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. No individual or any organization cannot print the coins or the paper notes. If it is done automatically, it is an illegal activity. And whenever any person is making the payment with the help of the rupee, he or she or any organization or the shopkeeper has to accept the payment in the form of a rupee. So that is what rupee is widely accepted as a medium of exchange. So what is the function of money? So we know that money plays a very important role as a medium of exchange. It has a measure of value, it has a standard of demand payments, and it has a store of value. The next concept is that deposits with banks. First of all, what do you mean by bank? So I think everybody knows what is a bank. Can any one of you say what is a bank, or can any one of you say what is a bank here, or think about what is a bank? A bank is nothing but a financial institution whose demand deposits are widely accepted as money for making payments and has the power to create money. A bank is a financial institution whose demand deposits are widely accepted as money for making payments and has the power to create money. So, in the bank, the people who have an excess of money with them, they immediately open the account in the bank in the name of them, and they deposit the extra cash, whatever it is available with them in the banks. So whatever the money deposited in the bank, that is, they have opened an account and they have saved the money in the form of deposit in the bank. The money can be drawn from the bank through demand deposits, or otherwise it can be that money which has been deposited in the bank or saved in the bank can be used for payment or transfers through check, demand draft, or money order. So a bank is a financial institution whose demand deposits are widely accepted as money for making payments and has the power to create money. So people open the account in the bank in the name of them and deposit the extra cash what is available with them. So with that money, whenever they are in need of, they can draw the money from the bank through demand deposit, or otherwise they can make a payment to anybody, or they can transfer in the form of check, demand draft, or money order. So what is demand deposit? Deposits in a bank which are payable on demand. So as we know that we have opened, for example, everybody will have an account in the bank. After opening an account in the bank in the name of us, for example, if a person is earning a salary of 20,000 or 25,000 or 50,000, whatever may be, even a less amount of money also, even a huge amount of money also, it is not a matter of it. But what he has excess in hand, immediately he goes to the bank, he deposits. For example, 10,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees, he deposits the extra cash, whatever it is available with him. He deposits. After 10 days or after 1 month, he is in need of money. He goes to the bank, he fills a challan, he demands the bank to return the money to him. So whatever the money he has deposited, so for example 10,000 he has deposited, means at this present situation he is in need of money of 5,000 rupees. He can demand a bank by filling the challan, details of the challan, demand deposit challan, and what he can do, he can get the money from the bank, 5,000 rupees. So here the banks provide the facility of medium exchange, which is a function of money when payments are made by checks also. So this is what we say it as a demand deposit. Deposits in a bank which are payable on demand. You can see the deposit form here. So whatever it is, you can see this. The different criteria are given to fill the details here. Date is given, the account number is given, the amount in rupees, the amount in words, figures, how much amount, whatever it is. So you can deposit the money with the help of this form. You can deposit, that is, you can save the money in the bank with the help of this challan. So what is the benefits of deposits with a bank? As I already told you, deposits can be encashed by issuing checks in the name of a person to whom the payment is to be made. So I have an account. So in that particular account, I have a money. I have to make a payment to the educational institution as a fee for me. So what I can do, immediately I can fill a check in the name of in favor of that particular educational institution. I can settle the amount. For example, 10,000 I have to pay as a fees, means immediately what I can do, I can give a check to that particular educational institution or to the particular person who I have to give. So here there is no use of cash. Without the use of cash also, it is possible for me to settle the payment to that particular institution or organization or to any person. So in the form of demand drafts as well as in the form of check, money, it can be used. It is accepted as a means of payment along with the currency. They constitute money in modern economy. So with the help of demand drafts as well as the check, it is possible for me to make the payment along with the currency. So demand draft, check and along with the currency, they constitute money in modern economy. So these are the different benefits of deposits with the bank. So when we speak about a check, so a check is nothing but a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. So as I already told you, I have to pay the fees to my institution or any organization as a fee. So in such cases, I fill a check and I am giving to that particular educational institution or to the person. So immediately they will go to the bank, they will drop the check in the check box, or otherwise to the people who over there, the authorized people over there. And what happened? So immediately the amount, for example, 10,000 amount I am paying means that 10,000 amount will be debited. It will be debited from my account and they will get the money from them. They will get the money from the bank. So a check is a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. Now you can see here. Okay, so in this left corner you can see account payee. 2 dashes are given account payee. So what does it account payee represents means? Whatever the check is given in favor of, for example, pay Prem Kumar, it is given. Okay, so this Prem Kumar account. So the Prem Kumar should have an account in the bank, any of the bank. This check can be deposited in the bank. So for example, what is the name of the bank given here? State Bank of India. The check is State Bank of India. Here you can see the check number 36 at the bottom. You can see the check number 362255. Here the amount is written in the words and the Indian figures also. 57,000 only. Here in the figures it is given 57,000. In the top right corner it is given as date. So this check represents this check. For example, the person who has signed here, you can see below that. You can see 57,000 it's given. Below that, one sign is there, Salim. So this check belongs to Salim. In favor of whom he is paying? He is paying to Prem Kumar. So in such cases, so he gives a 2 dash account payee only. Whatever the check he has given for 50,000, it will be credited in the account of Prem Kumar only. So the Prem Kumar, whether he holds this check, he cannot go and get the money directly from the bank. He has to fill the challan for depositing this check in the bank on his account. We understood this. So in such cases, a check is a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. So for example, if the 2 dash account payee is not given, or everything is okay, but the account payee 2 dashes cross symbol is not given in the left corner. So automatically the Salim has given to Prem Kumar this check. The Prem Kumar immediately can go to the State Bank of India. He can give the check. Okay, he can give the check and he can get the money directly from the bank. Because that person Prem Kumar who is holding the check can get the money directly from the bank, as he is the person who is holding the check. So a check instructs the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. I think you understood the concept up to this. So this is what the transaction is carried out in the form of check for instructing the bank to pay the amount. So this is what the modern forms of currency with the help of deposits with the bank. In the next class, in the next video, we will go over the loan activities, different credit situations, and what is the role of the RBI. So you can test yourself by understanding these concepts like define money, how money serves as a medium of exchange, problem of lack of double coincidence of one exists in barter exchange, explain what are demand deposit, explain the salient features of demand deposits, why rupee is widely accepted as a medium of exchange, and define check.
So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.